Hello everyone, Vicky Verley here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. This is going to be an all signs video, and this is going to be about the energy and the imprint of the lunar eclipse. Now we had the solar eclipse on the 12th, and I did a video on that. If you missed it, you might want to check it out. But this is the lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now it's occurring at 12:18 a.m. Eastern, so on the 28th. So for many it's going to be on the 27th. You'll have to check your time zone to be sure. But yeah, it's a powerful one, and it's a wrap-up of not only an 18-month cycle of the nodes being in Pisces and Virgo, and the eclipses being in Pisces and Virgo. It's the last eclipse in Pisces for this foreseeable future, okay? But it also, what I've been tying in, because I'm offering that eclipse reading, and this will be their last chance to the end of this month of August to get both, it covers both the eclipses, but it feels like this is also kind of putting a bow on or concluding the Saturn cycle as well. That was 3 years in the sign of Pisces. Technically, I don't really have, astrologers might want to argue with me on that, but energetically and psychically and intuitively, that's what I'm getting on it. It's kind of a wrap-up of a longer cycle. Well, it's a wrap-up of a lot of different longer cycles. We could go on and on for this, We could go on for, well, I could tell you actually, the last time that this was, here's the last time it was in recent history, or the last, just the nodes being there and the eclipses being here. 2006 to 2007, 87 to 89, and so on and so on. If you were born during any of these times, then that talks about you're having a nodal return, and these eclipses were happening when you were born, if you were born during those years. But it is a wrap-up, it is a conclusion, it is a lunar eclipse, which is a full moon, which is a culmination, conclusion, etc. So it's super powerful, and I just realized I don't have the cards. I got everything else out except for the cards with the astrology signs on, because we're going to need those as we move into the sign by sign. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with that, and we're going to start with the sign of Aries. So Aries, yeah, this is in your 12th house. I mean, it is in your 12th house here. So you more than anyone else, it is a wrap-up of an ending. It's a big wrap-up of a major cycle. Because, of course, after it goes through there, then the planets move into Aries, like we had Neptune and Saturn and Pisces, and now they're in your sign. So it is your 12th house. It is the house of endings. The full moon, it could also give you enlightenment or aha moments or big understandings. So it could be that you have some big understanding about what happened over the last few years here. Somebody from the past could be showing up again, or you could be having some big aha moment or understanding about somebody connected to your past. So let's go ahead and pull 2 cards for Aries for this lunar eclipse. For my Rock and Roll Tarot, Aries Sun, Rising, Moon people, we have the Emperor. Is that only 1 card? It feels like it's 2. No, it's only 1. And the Nine of Pentacles. Well, it looks like that, a decision, the Emperor is making the decision. We can confine this. We can condense this down a little more, I think. You're always a little bit of adjustment for Aries reading because you're always first, so you have to go through this little tiny period, just a hair more. 1 more. Oh. There, I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, so the Emperor, which actually can be a representation of you, because there is the Aries, the Ram on there. Some of you may get promoted at your job. If you're in a position where you could get promoted to be the boss or the Emperor, this may be you becoming the Emperor. But my first impression was, and for most I feel like it's going to be, this is the Emperor as an outside person. So this is somebody who is, a big, my guys are saying the big fish. So it could be a big client that you're trying to land, or maybe you're not even trying to land, but maybe they're going to show up in your life. Anybody who's showing up now, there is going to be this past life connection with this 12th house energy going on. But this Emperor here, this is bringing in financial security, financial abundance. Often the Nine of Pentacles, I have to switch glasses here, there we go. The Nine of Pentacles often can be, this is the card of the entrepreneur, this is the card of having your own business, working for yourself, etc. So that's where that big fish kind of energy comes in. This might be some big client or somebody who wants to, give you a boost up in your business. But also it just could be, again, the Emperor is the boss or the higher up, and they think you're great, and they give you a bonus, they give you the raise, a promotion, whatever it might be, to increase your money and finance and put you in a more stable position with money and finance. Okay, Aries, well, you know, I do have over on my channel, if you're new here, this is just a mini reading. I have the extended reading up here on YouTube and the Rock and Roll Prophetess channel. It's free. There's no extra charge for that. But I also do have regular personal readings. I've been a professional reader for many decades, and since the 90s, late 80s, 90s. And right now my offer is the eclipse reading, where we will look at both the eclipse readings. So, but I have other things as well. Always head over to my website, VickiBurley.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Taurus. Well, Taurus, let's turn the wheel. This eclipse is happening in your 11th house of friends, associates, money from the career, hopes, wishes, and dreams. And these types of things could be coming to fruition, coming to a big conclusion. Things from the last couple, 2 to 3 years could be really wrapping up at this time. You could have major enlightenment. You could be seen, I feel. If you just started in a job, or somebody you know, I'm feeling, there's somebody who's like in the trades, you know, when you're in the trades and you're a journeyman and you're apprentice and you're a journeyman or whatever, and then you're accepted into the, you know, the full-fledged union member or whatever it is. So it might have been like that, or were you in a school, or even, you know, if are you in the medical profession, if you're a doctor, you know, you're an orderly resident or whatever, you know, up the ladder. It feels like that for many people, but it may apply to your job. It could also be too like you're just in with the group. You know, you're in with the cool kids. You know, hanging out with the cool kids now. Let's go ahead and get a couple of cards of the Taurus here. Some of you, this could be also like getting accepted into medical school or law school or something like that. Even though that'd be more 9th house, but I'm definitely picking that up for some people. All right, let's go ahead and get 2 cards for our Taurus friends from my Rock and Roll Tarot deck, which is also available for purchase if you'd like to work with it. On this deck, too, make sure that you look at the words. If any shapes or words stand out to you, know that that's a message from your guides. Okay, Spirit is raining down blessings with you, on you, with the star energy. And you have the 3 of Wands. Your ships are coming in. Yeah, you're getting accepted. This is a new foundational period where you're getting accepted. Spirits, angels have guided you, have helped you, have led you to this pinnacle moment, is what my guides want me to say and come through with you. The 3 on here is also feeling like it could be really relevant for somebody. So maybe this is your 3rd attempt, or like I was saying, it's the 3rd tier. You were the apprentice, journeyman, you know, master or whatever. Like there's a 3 involved. Maybe you have to go through 3 interviews, there's like 3 steps. Give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps, man. So give me 3 steps towards the door. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if I should tell this story or not. Probably not, but I'm going to anyway. When I was playing in cover bands, we used to do that song, and I sang that song. And I always had a thing for guys with long blonde hair. So there's a line in that song. It was like, I said, hey there, fellow with the hair colored yellow. And I would always point out who I liked in the audience. So that was my little, I don't know what you'd call it, flirty thing or whatever, but you know, I think I've said too much. I'm going to move on. But yeah, hey there, fellow with the hair colored yellow. I used that line many times. That's back in the day. I'm not like that anymore. I'm a grandma now, and you know, I'm not out there in the bars trying to pick up dudes with long blonde hair anymore. It's been a long time since anything like that happened, but yeah, that was my pickup line, I guess you could say. But yeah, there does feel like there's a 3. Maybe that whole song or Leonard Skinner has some meaning to somebody out there too, because I know a lot of Tauruses are musicians too. And even look at the star energy. She's got the long flowy blonde hair too. But anyway, so yeah. Your ships are coming in. You've been divinely guided. There's been a lot of blessings and even miracles on the way. If this hasn't showed up, because sometimes the 3 of Wands too is, you know, your ships are coming in. It's on the horizon, but yet you don't. It's not really there yet. But you know, it's like the contract is signed, or you know, it's checks in the mail, or whatever it might be. You know, you are on that step to getting what you want, and you've been divinely guided. If this hasn't shown up, you're not seeing your ships on the horizon, then this is a good time to really try to connect with Spirit, because they're ready, willing, and able, my guys are saying, to help you and assist you. Well, they always are. They always are anyway. All right, Taurus. Well, hey, I hope this reading helped you out. Don't forget on my main channel, The Rock and Roll Prophetess, there's much other readings. There's a longer extended reading at no additional charge. You know, you can head over there. And if you like my content, please do hit the like, subscribe, and hype. That helps me out quite a bit. If you want to get in on any personal readings for me, always through my website. Don't be fooled by social media imposters. I am offering that 2-for-1 eclipse reading right now, so it'll be available to the end of the month. We can look at both the eclipses and how they might impact your chart specifically. All right, let's go on to the sign of Gemini. Well, Gemini, this is up in your 10th house. So the 10th house is a career. It is what you're shooting for in life, these types of things. It's where you rise, you know, where you rise. Where my guides are talking about all tides, all ships rise at high tides or whatever. In other words, you know, you lift everybody else up. It's not about I have to step on you to get where I'm going. It's, you know, you being magnanimous and being, you know, generous, and magnanimous is the right word. And coming through with, yeah, ships rise with the tide. I'm going to bring along other people too. I'm going to help other people. I won't forget the ones who got me there. That's what I'm hearing too. So if people helped you to achieve this thing, then make sure that you are in gratitude. Okay, let's do 2 cards for Gemini. We have the Ace of Wands, sparks new beginnings, and the 3 of Cups. So lots to celebrate. Could be an actual, this is actually what I use this card for a lot here in the States. We have 2 at the beginning and end of summer. There's the 3-day weekend, Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend. And I will often use this card for one of those weekends. And actually Labor Day weekend is coming up, I believe, right? That's that week. Isn't that part of Labor Day weekend? Or if not, it's the next week. Let me double check on that for you. Labor, no, it's 1 week away. So it might be 1 week away after the 1 week away from the eclipse. Lots of things to celebrate and be happy. Drink and be merry. Oh, that's my song. What am I thinking? That's one of my songs. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Maybe you'll have a great time. It's time to relax over this weekend, and then the week after you can get right back to it. By relaxing and socializing, because 3 of Cups is a major card of socializing also, this tells us that a lot of times that's when the energy can come in. Okay, so excuse me, I have to move this out of the way. A lot of times that'll be when the energy can come in, because if we're too focused, then sometimes it's hard. You know, spirit, energy, whatever you want to call it, can't maneuver its way in because we're just so... And, you know, with you, your mind is always going, and you've got Uranus in your sign, so your mind is even going even more. So this Labor Day weekend, after the eclipse, go out, eat, drink, and be merry, celebrate, and who knows, you may discover, you may either get I'm hearing a hot tip, like maybe somebody's going to give you a hot stock tip or something like that, but you may connect, you may make a connection that reaches far beyond what you're seeing now, because this Ace of Wands is only that first spark. You could meet somebody that you're interested in too. When I said spark, you know, it might be that romantic spark, you know, it could be like that. All right, Gemini, well, if you're new here, you know, I have other readings on my website, Rock and Roll Prophetess. You can head over there, including an extended monthly reading that is free, totally free to view on my channel. If you want to get a personal reading from me, I am open for readings. Turnaround is usually 1 week, and that's over there at my website, which is vickyverla.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. I am offering an eclipse special that includes both eclipses, this one and also the Leo eclipse, because both are far-reaching. Beyond just, it's not a one-day thing. It's a, it's an ongoing thing. All right, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Cancer. I was moving the wheel the wrong way. Get me off this wheel of karma. Stop the hands of time. Yeah, Todd. It's Todd Rundgren. I love that tune. I think it's Utopia, but I do love that tune. Okay, Cancer, this is over here in your 9th house. So this is learning, traveling, having awareness, spiritual growth, having understandings, people from foreign lands and other countries. This is a culmination over the last 3 years. In the 9th house, you know, many of you, maybe you have finished off your degree and you're going to graduate, or you're starting in your last year maybe. because usually that's a 4 years thing in most cases, But it could have to do with education, but it doesn't have to do with doesn't have to be about necessarily formal education. It can be about just what you've gleaned over the last few years, what you've learned, how you've grown, these types of things. My guides are saying elevated experiences, so take that as it resonates. Two of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, good cards you have here. Well, you know which way to go. You've done the deep soul searching. You had Jupiter in your sign for some time. You've done this deep soul searching. You know where to go. You see your path clearly. The timing is right. This is a cyclical thing. If you skip the beginning, here's the years before when we had these rounds of eclipses. So you may want to reflect, because you have Wheel of Fortune here. This is talking about cycles. So you may want to reflect back on these time frames here. You could freeze the video if you missed it. But the Two of Wands says, yes, I see the way to go. And he holds the world in his hand. So I said this to one of the other signs, yes, it's just the beginning. But it could be, my guys are saying monumental, but the world says it could be bigger, better, more than you want it. Now, Two of Wands is also a partnership card, so maybe somebody you're going to have that fated encounter, that destined meeting, where you meet somebody and then off you go, your life plan together. It could be a romance, but it also could be, this is more of a friendship or business partnership. But I like when this card, for instance, shows up when I'm doing a love reading, because this card does represent somebody that you genuinely like, and you are friends with them, So it looks like a really good time. Wheel of Fortune, fate, destiny, the wheel is up, things are going in your favor. Looks wonderful. If you want to dive into your personal reading from me, you can always head over to my website, VickiBurley.com, and turnaround time is about 1 week. I am offering the Eclipse special, but also if you haven't checked out my channel, I have longer readings, the extended monthly, and various other readings that are available over there at no additional charge, so you can check that out if you're interested. Thanks for hyping, and subscribing. Next we're going to go ahead and do Leo. Well, you had the eclipse in your sign. I mean, you're probably still catching your breath, or getting over this whole Leo eclipse. You had whatever, the 12th. And, that's still active. That's still active for, good, I was going to say 12 years, but actually it's 6 to 12 months. But maybe for some, a 12-year cycle is completing as well. Now, this particular eclipse is wrapping up this 8th house activation. So this is tying your money with other people. Maybe some of you had some money invested and you're going to remove your money from there. It's matured. For others of you, you may be dividing funds up. Maybe you're, if you're having a falling out and splitting with somebody, you get this, I get that. Dividing up assets. Maybe you're finally going to get that payment. If this has been an ongoing thing. It's funny I said 12 years because I'm involved in a lawsuit that was 12 years. I'm involved in a ton of them. Well, you know how that goes. They send you these postcards, and it's like, well, if you want it, if you don't want to be in it, opt out of it. And I just throw them all in a folder. Well, I have one that's, coming up here after 12 years. They're finally going to settle, so maybe you're involved in a lawsuit like that. Because the 8th house here, like, class action suit, that's what I'm talking about. But it could be a different kind of lawsuit for sure. Or selling some big ticket item. Maybe that's finally going to come through for you. Let's go ahead and get 2 cards for Leo. You've got a lot of stuff. If you missed the video I did on the Leo eclipse, you should really check that out. Okay, here we go. We have the King of Pentacles, so that's the money man, and Wheel of Fortune, and I did shuffle. So wow. Yes, big money coming. This could be an investor. This could be my tycoon. Doesn't it say tycoon on there? Yeah, but I heard it in my head. By the way, if any of these letters or colors or things stand out to you on my deck here, the Rock and Roll Tarot, make sure to note that, because that's the way your guides can be pointing things out to you. All right, so Wheel of Fortune, yeah. Fate, destiny, luck. This could be unearned money. With Wheel of Fortune, too, you could be winning some kind of money. The King of Pentacles isn't usually winning money, though. He's, unless it's Ed McMahon, from Publishers Clearinghouse. He doesn't leave it to fate. The King of Pentacles is solid investments. He's a banker. He's a mortgage. He's an accountant, he's a banker, he's a money manager, those type of people. with a stockbroker, you know, those types of people. These are the King of Pentacles here. Captains of industry, I'm hearing. He's a captain of industry, or they, could be anybody. But he's coming forward at the right place at the right time. He's got a major investment opportunity for you, or they want to honor you. And it's funny, I want to say honor you, but this looks like a big uptick in your money. And with the full moon in the 8th house, that would fit right in with the astrology as well. If you want to dive into a more personal outlook, you can always head to my website, VickiRilly.com, where I will look at the, your personal... I do the chart readings, which is the eclipse reading I'm offering now, but I also have tarot readings and psychic tarot readings and other things. So your patronage is truly appreciated, as is liking, subscribing. That costs nothing, and it's helpful to me, and I appreciate it. Okay, Virgo, well, this is, you're on the axis. The Virgo Pisces axis. That's what's been going on here. I'll throw this up here again if you skip the intro. These were the prior years cycles when these things were going on. So if you want to think about those time frames, or if you were born during those time frames, or significant things happen. And I was telling you, this is the last Pisces eclipse. However, it is not the last Virgo eclipse. I'm sorry to say, Virgo, there's going to be one more eclipse in your sign, and then you're done as well. On February 20th, there's going to be one more eclipse of 2027 in your sign next year. But, this has been a ride. It's been quite a ride, my guys are saying. You've been having the eclipses. It's been a lot of shakeups. In your case, this is your house of partnerships, so it could have to do with partners. Your partner, something big news or some big development could happen with the other person, but yet it affects you. If you're single, you could meet somebody. If you're at the end of your rope, I'm hearing for some people might be at the end of their rope, then you may be saying so long. What's that song? Avida say da 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 da. It's where they say goodbye in a bunch of different languages. And one of them they say Avida say, I know that. If anybody knows, you can leave it in the comments. If you leave it in the comments, tell them that it's Virgo so we know what we're talking about here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get 2 cards for our Virgos, Sun, Rising, Moon peeps, or anybody who's interested in Virgo or resonates with it. Let's see what we have. The 4 of Swords. This is my rock and roll tarot deck, by the way, Ace of Rods. So if any of the words or anything stand out to you, that's a good way that you can get a message from your own spirit guides. So you've been laying in wait, my guides are saying. So you've been laying in wait, healing perhaps, but this feels more like waiting. I've just been waiting, and then the Ace of Swords, all of a sudden, bam, things are going to get started again. Planting those things are going to get started. You turn that spark into a flame. Inception. Somebody out there, this would be a good time if you're trying to get pregnant. I know that doesn't really line up with astrology. It'd be more of a 5th house thing, but I am picking a pregnancy, or making somebody if you were going for even the other, artificial insemination, or anything along those lines. Also, this might be a good date, to do something like that. Whatever you've been waiting on, this is, and usually the full moon is not the time to start it, but it really is looking like things are going to start moving all of a sudden, that you've been waiting, even maybe 4 weeks, 4 days, 4 months, since the 4th month of April even, you may have been waiting. Some of you may be getting over some kind of, you had a surgery, or there was that kind of healing time. Now you're feeling like, I feel like I can get back on my feet again. I feel like you're getting back on your feet again, no matter what area of life this may pertain to. Or if you've been taking care of somebody else who had to go through some kind of medical thing, they're getting back on their feet again. All right, Virgo, well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, on my regular channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess, if you haven't subscribed, I have all kinds of readings over there, and spirit guide messages and all kinds of stuff. So I love it if you subscribe, then you won't miss a thing. I do have a longer monthly reading, extended reading, which is no extra charge on that channel as well. If you want to get a personal reading from me, I have many years experience, and I am offering a special with the eclipse reading. All that is always through my website. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're going to look at the sign of Libra. Okay, Libra, well, this is happening in your 6th house of work and health. It's a 3-year cycle, roughly, ending. Some of you maybe are getting back to work. Some of you may decide you're going to retire, but I feel like some of you may be getting back to work, or getting that new job, or getting back on track with work. Maybe you've let things fall behind, or maybe you, some of you, maybe you were, you know, you had kids or other responsibilities and you were just working part-time, and it's just like, well, now my kids are back. Well, for some it could be like, my kids are going back to school, I can get more hours in, you know, I can go full-time, or, you know, something like that. That could definitely be a thing. Health regimens, you may be aware of something. If something it comes up that you're, you know, like a little pain or something, don't let it go, because that could be the universe telling you, go get it checked out, just to be on the safe side. You know, some kind of little tick or some kind of little pain in your side, I'm hearing, for somebody. That might be more than just nothing, you know. So just to be on the safe side, definitely take a look, because that could be making you aware of sixth house energies. Okay, let's go ahead and get 2 cards, which is health, basically. 2 cards for Libra. We've got the 7 of Cups. This is my Rock and Roll Tarot deck, if you're not familiar, and Ace of Wands, and I shuffled the you-know-what out of these cards. So, 7 of Cups, what you've been dreaming of, what you've been hoping for, is about to come a reality. It's actually taking root and starting to take root in the real world. Many of you, again, this could be health, but it could also be a work thing. Some kind of work, your dream job. You know, this is what you've been dreaming of, your dream job. And you put in your resume. This would be a good day to do that. Put in your resume or something like that. Or, you know, throw your hat into the ring for some kind of a job or something like that, or some kind of thing where you really want to work there or something like that. I feel like bringing back to the kids going back to school, I feel like now for some people it's like getting those kids out of your hair. Because I remember those days, it was just like, oh, you know, when my kids are almost like, finally, you know, getting the kids out of your hair. You can do your own creative projects. Because Libras, you guys are ruled by Venus, and you're very creative. And by the way, Venus is in your sign. I've been doing many of these eclipse readings, so I know the charts. Venus is in your sign at the time of these eclipses, too. So maybe it's like, oh, God, the kids are in school. I can get a couple hours into, you know, bring my creative visions to life and do what I really want to do. Plant those seeds and do what I really want to do. And, you know, spark that creative spark. Well, whatever spark lights you up. It doesn't have to be creativity, but you have time singular on your own. You have time on your own to do what you want. That's really what I'm getting. All right, Libras, well, if you want to dive into it more, like I said, the eclipse reading is pretty interesting because Venus is in your sign in both cases. It's a 2-for-1, basically. You get both the eclipses, which are ongoing influences for months or years to come. But I have other readings as well. But always got to remember, through my website, don't be fooled by social media imposters. If you liked my content, check out my channel. I have other videos on there. Not only readings, longer readings than this too, but I have, you know, spiritual insights and information, channel information. I have various set lists over there. So if you're interested in spiritual growth, head over to my channel. Hit the like and subscribe specifically, because then you won't miss any of my videos when they come out. All right, Scorpio. Well, this is in your 5th house of love, romance, children, creativity. This is the end of a 3-year cycle. I feel like for some of you, there has been some kind of a challenge out there regarding some kind of children. Like maybe you had to, you know, you just had, it feels like it was somewhat extra burdensome on you. Like you had this extra burden to deal with because of a child, or taking care of a child, or, you know, whatever the case. But it could also be creativity. Could be major creative breakthroughs if you're into it. If you're into creativity, you could have a major creative breakthrough or download. Scorpio, sun, rising, moon. Got the 7 of Wands where you've been struggling, and then the 10 of Wands. So, you know, still working hard. That's a Scorpio thing. You're always working hard. But the full moon is the culmination, you know, so it's bringing it to an end. If this is the case where you're just struggle, work, you can't go on like this. You can't go on just running away. You make it a little longer. Whoa. Whatever, that's Heart. I can't think of the name of the song. Yeah, but you need a break in the action here. On with the action. Yeah, you need a little bit of a break here. You got to take 5 or take 10. Make time for more enjoyment, more fun. 5th house is fun, enjoyment, creativity. You can put these sticks down for a minute. You know, lay down your sword or lay down your sticks here and your burdens for a minute. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You're gonna waste all our cares away. Yeah, so do something, sing, dance, music, all that's fifth house stuff. That's all part of it. You don't have to work so hard. I mean, I know you probably do, but you can just chill out for a minute. Because Saturn's in your sixth house too, so yeah, you can chill out for a minute. It's even on, especially on this day, if nothing else, on that day or that weekend, because it does fall on a weekend. Maybe that weekend just say, you know what, I'm just not going to work this weekend. I'm not going to check my emails. I'm not going to work, even if it's a staycation at home. I'm just going to do self-care, self-love. I'm going to do creative things, do what I want to do, not be there for everybody's beck and call and be there, you know, the workhorse, you know. It's time to flip that switch, because this is not good to go on like this. You have to give yourself breaks in order to re-energize yourself so you can go on and do more work in the future. Surprising that those cards came up with the fifth house activation. Okay, so Scorpios, hey, if you want to dive into it more, I'm always available through my website only. Don't be fooled by social media, people. The eclipse offer is still on. It covers both eclipses, which are both still active for many months to come. And I have other readings as well. And I have other readings on my channel, not only about these kind of readings, but spiritual growth and channeling and different things. So if you'd like to hit that subscribe or check it out, you know, please do so. All right, Sagittarius. This is down in your fourth house. This is home, family, foundations, major awareness with the Pisces energy. Check your plumbing and stuff. Check if there's not a plumbing leak or some kind of plumbing thing you need to take a look at. You know, flooding, these types of things. I know that many parts of the country have been experiencing, in America have been experiencing, a lot of U.S. have been experiencing flooding, but also just awareness. This would be a good time to, like I was telling Scorpio, just to stay home, get snuggly, you know, get with a good book or something like that. Take some time out to just be, you know, feather your nest. You know, nesting energy. Okay, let's get two cards for Sagittarius. Sun, rising, moon, whatever floats your boat. King of Cups and Two of Cups. Soulmate energy. Wow. Well, you know, it is the Pisces full moon, and this is the water. These are cup energy, water energies. Could be a water person. Could be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. But the whole message of the King of Cups, if you want to just set the astrology side for a minute, is because it talks about somebody who is emotionally mature. They have, you know, relationship, emotional maturity, kindness, gentle, caring, you know, not in their ego, not competing, you know, generous of spirit, you know, these types of things. The word generous stood out to me. That also, remember, if any of those words stand out to you on any of these readings, that's a way the spirit can come through as a message. This is my rock and roll tarot deck. But whoever it is, it's a soulmate for you. Two of Cups is, you know, soulmate, straight up. So soulmate energy is there. If maybe you want to stay home with your lovey. But it's funny, I would say lovey. What a weird thing to say. With your loved one, you know. Maybe, I mean, you could meet somebody, I suppose, but this feels very much like Cancerian energy, you know, paired with that fourth house activation. It feels like we'll stay home, we're going to cook some food, you know, we're going to Netflix and chill, or sit by the fire, or, you know, cozy, comfy kind of stuff, you know. If you're single, I guess you can meet somebody, but I guess that would require moving out. It's funny I said moving out of the house, but getting out of the house. But, you know, not always, because now we have the apps and everything like that, so you could maybe meet somebody on an app, perhaps, or maybe it's somebody you already know that's not a romantic interest necessarily, but just a soulmate, and invite them over. Hey, I'm cooking dinner, you want to come over and we can watch a movie or something? You know, that's the vibes that I'm getting out of this. So that might be a good weekend, but also it's establishing. These are longer term cycles that are establishing. Some of you may decide you want to move. I mean, there's bigger picture things going on during eclipse season. If you want to look at it specifically about you, I do have the eclipse reading and other readings as well over on my website, VickyBurley.com. Turnaround's usually a week. Don't be fooled by social media imposters. If you like this video, check out my channel for other videos. I'm not only on, you know, these kind of readings, but I have spiritual information, channel information. And if you subscribe, then you'll never miss a video. I appreciate it very much. And next we're going to look at the sign of Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, this is in the 3rd house, so this is knowledge, learning, communication, writing those emails, writing that book, you know, working on that book. If you've been stuck somewhere with something that's, you have to, you know, that has to do with mental capacity, reading, writing, you know, if you're working on a project and there's some kind of mental thing and you're just been stuck, this could be that big, you know, that big download, that big breakthrough. You could get that breakthrough. You could really be in flow with writing, creativity, communication. Good time to take a little walk around your neighborhood. You never know who you're going to meet. The people that you meet when you're walking down the street, they're the people that you meet each day. I was off at the beginning of it, but let's see what we get here for Capricorn. 2 cards for Capricorn for the full moon lunar eclipse. Last one in Pisces. Strength, patience, strength, and the Empress. Okay. Well, the Empress just talks about abundance, but it could also be if somebody's trying to get pregnant. We'll be talking about that. Have strength because this pregnancy is going to be coming through here. But it's really a card of foundations. It's good health. It's abundance. It's motherhood. It's your creation. And that's what I was interpreting this 3rd house. It could just be, you know, texting, writing emails, blah, blah, blah. You could get a surprise message, you know, full moon, oh, illuminated, oh, wow. Maybe it's something you have been waiting for already. Maybe you've been waiting for 8. If you've been waiting for it since, oh, well, this is August, but maybe you've been waiting 8 for this whole year since your birthday, or 8 weeks, or, you know, 8 could come into play in some way. You know, it is number 8, and they do have an 8 over, I mean, a infinity symbol over their head there, so that's like a double 8 or double infinity symbol actually, because if you turn 8 sideways, of course, it turns into infinity. So what maybe it could be the big payoff to whatever you have been waiting for. But if it's a big payoff, the other part of that is, with the infinity energy coming through here, you don't know, it's infinite, so you don't know how big it really could be. You could get all that in a bag of chips. You know, you could be so abundant, so your cup overfloweth so much, you know. But have strength and have patience. Don't try to rush it. Sometimes Capricorns, you want to get to the top of the mountain. There is a process. You've got to go with the process, okay? But yeah, stay calm and carry on. And major abundance. I'm feeling like a breakthrough in something you've been working on, that you've been hitting a wall on, and it's going to all of a sudden pop here. So yeah, Capricorns, if you want to look at this or any of the other readings I have, you've got to go over to my website. Don't be fooled by imposters on social media. And please do check out my channel, The Rock and Roll Prophetess. If you're new here, I love it if you subscribe so you don't miss a video. Not only do I have a lot of different readings on there, but I also have like channeled messages, spiritual art and stuff, all kinds of things. So check it out. I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. So yeah, this is in your 2nd house of money. This is a 3-year or 2.5 to 3 year process about money, and it's finally going to be culminating. So if you've been working on a project that long, this could be the culmination of it. If you've been at a company or working at a job for that long, you could get that raise or promotion. This might be the time to put in that raise or promotion. Or maybe I'm hearing you're going to get, for somebody, you're going to get tenure. So maybe you're going to get tenure if you're in the educational field. But it looks fantastic. You know, it looks like there's big money coming your way, or you'll be shown, the path will be illuminated as to how you can earn more money and increase your prosperity. So let's see. We have Ace of Swords, breakthroughs, victory, and Ace of Wands, double aces. Now that Ace of Wands has been out, but first time for the Ace of Swords. So maybe 2 different things could pop for you. That's what it's kind of looking like when you get 2 aces. Usually that's going to be 2 different things. So maybe one thing, you get a breakthrough, and then you hear about the other thing. Isn't that, I can't speak. That's how it goes a lot of the times, you know. Like for instance, when this may not be applied to this at all, but when people are trying to get pregnant, the minute they don't worry about it anymore, then they get pregnant. You know, that happens a lot. Or they say, well, we might as well just adopt a child. They adopt a child, and then bam, they get pregnant. You know, through birth, through biological ways. You know, but that applies to a lot of things in life. So you might get this one big breakthrough, and it's just like, oh, good, I don't have to worry about it. And this just comes out of left field. Like this other thing just shows up too. So it's double It's double your pleasure, double your fun. That's what I'm hearing. That's that old commercial. Yeah, but it feels like it's definitely two different things that could be popping. Or you could have the choice. You may have a choice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. I will choose free will. Yeah, free will. That's you all day long, right, Aquarius? Yeah. All right, so looks really wonderful. Bountiful, my guides want me to say. Wonderful and bountiful. Okay, Aquarius, if you want to dive into this more, because you're involved. Pluto in your sign is involved in this basket, in the mystic rectangle, the whole 9 yards. So you are involved in this whole setup that's happening during eclipse season if you want to take a look at that. Or if you just have other questions, I do tarot and astrology readings. But always got to remember, only through my channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess, please don't be fooled by imposters. They're rampant out there. I'd love it if you hit the subscribe so you won't miss a video. And I have a lot of other things over there on my channel if you're the first time here. So I appreciate your support, the subscription, and I'm sorry I had to move that. I did that. Sorry, the camera's shaking. There was a little fruit fly or bug on there. I had to get him. All right, Pisces, you're up next. So here we go. It's in your sign. But the good news is this is the last one, Pisces. You've been dealing with this stuff. I mean, you've been dealing with the eclipses in your sign for like 2 years, but 2.5 years. But really, for 3 years, it's been Saturn in your sign. You know, it's just been this heavy-duty, karmic, burdensome stuff, right? And now, this is the completion. This is where it all culminates. This is where it comes to the end. You're not going to have to deal with this anytime soon. So let's see what's up for this. This is a good time to finish and release. Okay. I heard catch and release, and they showed me fishing. So if anybody does that. All right, so you have the Lovers. And next card you have is the Page of Wands. Well, relationships should be, I mean, we are going to, this is the houses that have been activated. This whole eclipse cycle here. You and the other. You and Virgo. You and your partner. Lovers. That's you and your partner, you know. If you're looking, you could meet somebody, I suppose. Or it could be bringing the astrology into the equation with your Lovers card. I would say it could be more like they finally see you, you know, because the full moon is illuminating you and your house, you know. So maybe there's somebody that you've been in the friend zone with, or maybe had a little crush on or something, and then phew, they finally see you. Some of you could be a child coming, you know, if you're having a lot of sexy time here. Page of Rods could be some kind of child coming. It might be a fire sign child. So they might be, if somebody's looking to get pregnant or is pregnant, the child may arrive like in fire sign time. So the next fire sign time after this is going to be Sagittarius. So that's at the end of November and December. And then the one after that is going to be Aries. So Aries is the end of March and into April. So if anybody's being pregnant or is pregnant or trying to get pregnant, you know, this, you might pop out this little fire sign person here. Some of you, maybe you're just falling in love with this little fire sign person. Maybe they're already born. Maybe they were born in the time of Leo, because it's fire sign. And you're just, you know, you're so in love with them. The both of you are. You know, look at this this beautiful child that we created. Whatever the case, there is a lot of relationship stuff going on. Again, this one is really the ball in your court, though. This is really you being lit up, you being illuminated, you being in the spotlight, something like that. There is some fire sign something going on here. Well, I mean, we will have like an Aries moon or something within the next couple days after that, because it'll go from Pisces full moon in your sign to Aries. So it might be something a few days later. It might be something having to do with a small person, a child. The other thing is, whatever you're cooking up now, maybe it will be not till Sagittarius, the next fire sign, in November, before it really starts to, you know, take root and you really start to see the on with the action. I got that song before. Is that UFO? I think it is. Or Michael Schenker Group, maybe, MSG. Anyways, wow, you know, so do your rituals on this. This is your last full moon solar eclipse in your sign. You know, it won't be back for some years. So this is a time to really clear your energy, Think about what the last few years was all about as you move on to your next chapter. Okay, Pisces? If you want to get a reading from me, always through my website, remember, vickyverley.com, and you can find the link below or in the pinned comment, because there's so many imposters out there, so be wary of that. The eclipse reading is what I'm offering, the special. It talks about both the eclipses because the energy and the imprint is ongoing. But I have other readings as well if you want to ask a question or whatever. I'm a very seasoned reader with over 40 years experience in it by now, yeah. Also, head over to my channel. I've got all kinds of things over there. I've got not only readings, but I've got spiritual insights, channeled works, different things. So if you're interested in spiritual growth, which I know many Pisces are, you can find a lot of interesting things on my channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe so that you don't miss a video. Hope you have the best lunar eclipse ever. I mean, this is the last one, so just take it like that. Try to get in a meditative state. Try to relax. Try to just sort of let it pass. That's what my guides are saying. Okay, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.